My beloved child, you have walked through valleys that seemed endless and nights that felt without dawn. I have seen every tear that slipped quietly down your face when no one else was there to notice. You thought I had turned away, that perhaps your prayers had grown too faint to reach my ear. But I tell you now with eternal certainty, I have never left you, not for one breath, not for one heartbeat. Even when the shadows thickened and the silence grew unbearable, I was beside you, steady and watchful, carrying you through what you could not bear alone. When life begins to slow and years gather like autumn leaves at your feet, it is easy to believe that your best days are behind you. You may look back at the faces and moments you have lost, feeling the ache of emptiness where love once lived. But I am the God who remains when all else fades. When your hands tremble and your steps falter, I am the strength beneath your weakness. When your mind revisits memories you wish you could undo, I am the peace that whispers, "You are still mine." I never measure you by your mistakes or by what you could not accomplish. I measure you only by the depth of your trust, by your willingness to lift your eyes toward me even when the path ahead is hidden by fog. There have been times you thought the valley would swallow you whole. You cried out, "Where are you, Lord?" And the heavens seemed silent. But silence does not mean absence. In the stillness, I was there, shaping something within you that only suffering could awaken. Your pain became the soil in which compassion could grow, your tears the water that softened the hardness of your heart. You did not see it, but I was making you more radiant through the very trials you despised. You were not being punished, you were being refined. I know the loneliness that sometimes presses upon you in the quiet of the evening. The house is still, the phone does not ring, and you wonder if anyone remembers. I do. I remember every moment of your life, every kindness you've given, every prayer you've whispered when no one else saw. You are not forgotten. I have engraved your name upon my heart. I walk with you as surely now as I did in the innocence of your youth. My presence does not fade with time. It deepens, it steadies. It becomes the light that guides you through the shadows that come with age. Do not think the valley is a punishment. It is a passage. Even in the low places, there is purpose. I lead you there not to abandon you, but to draw you closer, to teach you to rely not on the world's fleeting comforts, but on me alone. The valley is where trust becomes real. It is where faith learns to breathe. When all familiar supports are stripped away, then your soul can finally rest upon the rock that cannot be moved. I see how the world has changed around you, how the noise of it overwhelms, how the values you once held sacred seem forgotten. It can make you feel out of place, unseen, unnecessary. But hear me, you still have purpose. Your prayers move mountains you cannot see. Your faith upholds generations that come after you. When you speak kindness into a world that has forgotten gentleness, you are my voice echoing through time. When you forgive instead of resent, you are my mercy alive in the world. You may think your influence has faded, but in truth it has only deepened, like roots that grow unseen, steadying the soil beneath new life. There are seasons of suffering that feel like endings, but I tell you they are sacred beginnings in disguise. When you sit quietly and let your heart open to me, even in pain, I am doing something holy within you. I am drawing the edges of your heart closer to mine, blending your will with my own. You may not understand why some things were taken or why prayers went unanswered, but one day you will see that I was answering in a deeper way than you could have imagined. Every valley you have walked was leading you closer to home. You do not have to carry your sorrow alone anymore. Hand it to me. Let me hold what has grown too heavy for your arms. Trust that I can redeem even what feels beyond repair. The valley is not your destination. It is your transformation. When you reach the other side, you will look back and realize that the footprints beside yours were never your own. They were mine, carrying you when your strength was gone. So do not fear the nights when loneliness visits or when regret whispers your name. Speak my name instead. Let your heart remember that I am near, not as a distant idea, but as a living presence, closer than your breath. I am the steady heartbeat of the universe, and I have chosen to dwell within you. When you feel weak, know that my power is made perfect in that weakness. When you feel forgotten, know that I am singing over you with love that never grows old. Lift your eyes, child. The valley will not last forever. There is light ahead, and it is not a light you must chase. It is a light that is coming to meet you. Until that day, walk with the quiet assurance that you are never alone. The one who made you walks beside you still. Every sigh, every prayer, every tear is known to me. I am the shepherd of your soul, and I will never let you go. Even when your steps slow and the horizon draws near, do not fear. You are still on holy ground. The valley has been sanctified by my presence, and your journey is sacred in my sight. I am with you, yesterday, today, and forever. The shadows may lengthen, but my light remains. And when your journey in this world finds its rest, you will awaken in my arms, where there are no more valleys, only endless dawn. My beloved child, so many lives burdened by the weight of what once was. You remember the things you wish you could undo, the harsh words spoken in anger, the moment of weakness that wounded someone dear, the choices that left scars upon your heart. You replay them in the stillness of the night, wondering if I could truly forgive what feels unforgivable. Yet I say to you now, with a love that has no boundary, my mercy is wider than the horizon. There is no place you can fall where my compassion cannot reach, no sin so heavy that it can outweigh the cross of my love. You were not made to live chained to regret. I never intended for shame to be your constant companion. The world may remind you of your failures, and even your own memory may accuse you, but I do not. When I look upon you, I see the one I created in beauty, not the mistakes that marred your journey. I see the tenderness that still longs to do what is right, the desire to love, the yearning to begin again. I see the tears you have shed in repentance, and I count every one of them as precious. You think of me as far away when you fail, but I am never closer than in that moment of brokenness when your heart turns toward me once more. I do not forgive as the world forgives. The world keeps score, tallies offenses, and decides who is worthy of another chance. But my forgiveness is not earned, it is received. It flows from the wellspring of eternal mercy that never runs dry. When you ask me to forgive, I do not hesitate. I do not deliberate. I simply open my arms and draw you in, covering you with grace so vast that even heaven marvels at its reach. You may think your years have left you with too much to repent for, too many failures to erase. Yet I tell you, not a single one of them stands between us when you surrender them to me. My mercy does not fade with time. It deepens. It is stronger than your guilt, gentler than your self-condemnation, and more enduring than the judgments of others. You have been washed by grace that cannot be undone. The past is not a prison. It is a place where I have already entered, redeemed, and transformed what you could not. Do not hide from me because of your shame. I did not come to condemn you. I came to heal you. When you bring your wounds into my light, I do not recoil from them. I touch them with tenderness until they no longer define you. I know how hard it is to forgive yourself, but let me tell you a mystery. When I forgave you, I also freed you from the need to punish yourself. Every time you carry guilt that I have already lifted, you hold on to a burden that no longer belongs to you. Let it fall. Let grace do what it was meant to do, make you whole again. The world is quick to condemn and slow to understand, but I do not look through the eyes of the world. I look through the eyes of eternity, and eternity sees differently. I see who you truly are beneath the layers of fear, pride, and pain. I see the image of myself that still flickers within you, waiting to burn bright again. You are not too far gone. You have not fallen beyond the reach of my compassion. If you take one small step toward me, I will cross the distance between heaven and earth to meet you where you stand. Some of you look at your past and whisper, "It's too late." You believe that time has closed the door on redemption, that the years you wasted can never be restored. But I am the Lord of time, and I make all things new. I can redeem even the years that feel lost. I can take the fragments of your life, the broken relationships, the missed chances, the seasons of rebellion, and weave them into something beautiful. What seems wasted to you becomes holy in my hands. My mercy does not just erase the past, it transforms it into testimony. You are not meant to live under the shadow of condemnation. You are meant to live in the light of my love. Let go of the habit of rehearsing your sins as if they define you. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are the beloved of the Most High. Every moment you turn your eyes back to me, the heavens rejoice. Every whisper of repentance opens the floodgates of grace anew. You do not need to earn my favor, you already have it. When others look at you and see failure, I see a story of endurance. When you see weakness, I see the doorway through which my strength enters. When you doubt your worth, I remind you that I paid the price of heaven itself to call you my own. My mercy was not a one-time act. It is a river that flows without ceasing. Even now, it is washing over you, cleansing the heaviness of your heart. You may wonder, how many times will you forgive me, Lord? And I answer, as many times as you come to me. There is no limit to my welcome. Return 1,000 times, and each time I will receive you with joy. The gate of grace never closes. You are never a burden to me. You are my delight. So lift your head, my child. The horizon is wide, and my mercy stretches beyond it. Let the past rest in my hands and walk forward without fear. You are forgiven, and that forgiveness is final. When shame tries to speak, remind it that the blood of my love has silenced it forever. Walk in freedom, walk in peace, walk as one who is loved beyond measure. I have not merely removed your guilt, I have rewritten your story. Every failure that once seemed to define you has become a place where my glory can shine. The world may remember what you did, but heaven remembers who you are, redeemed, restored, and deeply loved. My mercy will never run out. It will follow you all the days of your life and lead you home at last, where every wound will be healed and every regret transformed into radiant joy. My beloved child, I know how weary your heart can grow. There are days when you feel as though you have wandered too far, when the distance between who you are and who you once hoped to be seems impossible to cross. You whisper within yourself, I have failed again. How could I come back to him once more? Yet even before the thought forms, I am already reaching toward you. You see, I never close the door. I do not count how many times you fall, only how many times you turn toward me. And each time you return, I am waiting with the same love as the first day you came to me. You are not meant to stay lost in the shadows of guilt. I know your weaknesses. I am not surprised by them. I shaped your heart. I know its fragility, and I also know its beauty. When you stumble, I do not recoil or turn away in disappointment. I bend down to lift you, to steady you once more, and to whisper, come home. You do not need to clean your soul before you return. It is in the act of returning that I wash you clean. You need only come, just as you are, weary but willing. There is no shame in beginning again. Each return is sacred to me. Each time you come back, you draw closer to the heart of grace. Even your failures have purpose when they bring you back into my arms. Do not see them as reasons to hide, but as invitations to trust me more deeply. Every turning of your heart toward me strengthens the bond between us. When you fall, I do not mark it as defeat. I see it as another opportunity to show you how endless my mercy truly is. In the quiet hours of your life, when you feel forgotten or unworthy, I whisper your name. I never stop calling, even when the world grows loud with other voices. I call through the rustling of the trees, through the stillness of the night, through the ache in your soul that reminds you that nothing else can satisfy but me. The longing you feel, that gentle pull within, is not your imagination. It is my spirit within you, reminding you that you were made for communion with me. You may think you must earn your way back into my presence, that I will only receive you after you've proven yourself faithful. But my love is not a wage. It is a gift. You cannot buy it with effort or maintain it through perfection. You need only desire it, and it will meet you where you are. I never say, you have come too often. I never grow tired of your need. Each time you come, I see you as if for the first time, precious, beloved, whole. Do not measure your faith by how often you succeed, but by how often you return. The holiest lives are not those that never stumble, but those that never stop seeking. Even the saints of old knew what it was to fall short, but they learned the secret of rising again in my strength. Let that be your secret too. You are not meant to walk perfectly. You are meant to walk persistently. There are moments when you may wonder why you must return so often, why peace seems to fade after you have found it. My child, peace is not a possession you keep. It is a relationship you nurture. The world will try to pull you away again and again, and that is why I ask you to return again and again. Each return renews your soul. Each prayer refills the vessel that the noise of life has emptied. Returning to me is not a sign of weakness. It is the rhythm of your soul learning to breathe grace. When I say come to me, it is not a summons to judgment. It is an invitation to rest. Do not let fear keep you from the place of peace I have prepared for you. You do not have to fix everything before you approach me. Come with your confusion, your grief, your failures, and your hopes. Bring me the parts of your heart that still tremble. Bring me the moments that make no sense. I will hold them gently, and together we will begin again. I know the memories that haunt you. I know the moments you replay, wondering if I could truly welcome you back after such things. But remember this, I am not keeping score. My mercy has no limit, my forgiveness no expiration. When you return, I do not see a sinner crawling home. I see my beloved child coming into the light. The celebration in heaven each time you turn back to me never grows quieter. It resounds with joy unending. Each time you return, your heart grows softer, your faith deeper, your spirit stronger. The pattern of returning creates within you a sacred humility, a dependence that binds us together in ways that unbroken strength never could. When you finally understand that you can always come back, you will begin to live in true freedom, the freedom of knowing that nothing can separate you from my love. Even as your years increase and your body slows, never think that your journey with me has ended. You still have more to learn, more grace to receive, more love to give. I am still writing beauty into your story. Every morning you awaken is another invitation to return, to prayer, to hope, to me. Let every breath become a homecoming. Return again and again, my child. When fear tells you that you have gone too far, let faith answer that I am already walking toward you. When shame whispers that you are unworthy, let love remind you that you were worth the life of my son. And when doubt clouds your heart, let the simple act of turning your thoughts toward me break the darkness. I am here, not once, not sometimes, but always. The path to me never closes. You could wander for a lifetime, yet the moment you turn back, you will find I've been beside you all along. That is the secret of my love. It follows, it waits, it restores, it never gives up. So do not give up either. No matter how many times you fall, no matter how far you drift, my call remains the same. Come home. And when your final day arrives, when your strength is gone and your breath grows shallow, you will not need to find the way. For I will come for you myself, as I have done 1,000 times before. Your last return will be your first true arrival, and you will discover that every homecoming, every prayer, every tearful step toward me was leading you to that eternal embrace. So, my beloved, do not hesitate. Return now. Return tomorrow. Return as often as you must. There is no quota to my welcome, no limit to my grace. I am here, forever waiting, forever loving, forever yours. My beloved child, how loud the world has become. You wake to noise, and you lie down in it. The hum of distraction has woven itself into every hour of the day, whispering promises of peace that never come true. The world tells you that comfort lies in possessions, that happiness can be bought, that rest is found in forgetting. Yet you have learned, through the years and through your tears, that such peace is fragile. It fades the moment you reach for it. What the world offers you is restlessness disguised as rest and noise disguised as joy. But I have come to give you something deeper, something eternal, a peace that no circumstance can touch. The peace I give is not found in the absence of trouble, but in my presence within it. You may still face the same challenges, the same aches of body and spirit, yet within those storms I offer a calm that defies understanding. My peace does not depend on the world's approval, nor does it vanish when the days grow dark. It is the quiet assurance that you are loved, guided, and held, no matter what unfolds around you. When the voices of fear and confusion rise, my peace stands as a wall of light, steady and unyielding. You live in a time where the world shouts louder than ever. Every screen, every headline, every opinion clamors for your attention. The noise seeks to drown out the still, small voice of my spirit within you. But peace will not be found in more noise. It is born in silence. It waits for you in the quiet places where you dare to pause, where you turn your gaze away from the world and toward me. You do not need to travel far to find it. You only need to be still. In that stillness, I am there, whispering, "You are safe, you are loved, and I am enough." I see how the world tries to stir your fears. It tells you that you are losing time, losing relevance, losing control. It tempts you to cling tighter, to worry more, to strive endlessly to hold what was never meant to last. But I call you to release. The peace I offer comes not through holding on, but through letting go of what you cannot change, of what others think, of what tomorrow may bring. When you surrender those things to me, your heart becomes light again. The hands that once clenched in worry open in trust, and in that opening, peace enters. Do not believe the lie that peace means a life without sorrow. Even my son wept. Even saints have known loneliness and pain, yet beneath their tears flowed a current of quiet joy, for they knew I was near. Peace is not a denial of pain. It is the steady presence of love that holds you through it. You may walk through grief, but you do not walk alone. You may face uncertainty, but you are never abandoned. The world's peace ends at the first sign of trouble, but mine endures even in the valley of shadows. When you were young, you sought answers in the voices around you. You trusted the world's wisdom to lead you to contentment. But now, as the years have softened your heart and time has taught you truth, you see that the only peace that lasts is the peace that comes from me. You do not need to chase it. It comes to rest in you when you rest in me. Do not let the world make you anxious for the future or ashamed of your past. I am in both. I was there in every moment that hurt, and I will be there in every moment to come. Let your heart grow quiet now. Listen not to the fears that rise within, nor to the voices that speak of despair. Listen to me. I am the calm beyond the noise, the steady rhythm beneath the chaos. When you close your eyes and breathe my name, you touch eternity. You may feel fragile, but your spirit is anchored in me. No storm can uproot what I have planted. I know that sometimes you look at the world and wonder where goodness has gone. You see anger where there should be kindness, division where there should be love, and you ache for the gentler days of old. But do not let despair steal your peace. The world has always shifted like sand, but my kingdom remains unshaken. I am still at work in the hearts of men and women, still sowing seeds of compassion where hatred grows. You may not see the full harvest, but every prayer you lift, every act of love you offer, joins in that unseen work. Peace grows each time you trust me to move, even when you cannot see how.